Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Nursing Masters. This is Manjunath Naik and today we will see depression, its causes, symptoms and treatment. So let's start. So here depression is a common and serious type of mental health problem. It can negatively affect person's thought, behavior, feelings and sense of well-being. In India, the National Mental Health Survey 2015 and 16 revealed that 1 in 20 Indians suffer from depression. In 2015, WHO revealed that globally more than 300 million people suffer from depression. Proper care and necessary treatment it is not available for such patient means. Because of sadness of mood and negative thoughts, patient may end their life by committing suicide. So like this, it will create burden in patients. Now we see definition of depression. So here depression is a mood disorder characterized by persistent sadness of mood, negative thoughts, decreased psychomotor activity and suicidal ideas. So here all we know that what is mood. So mood is our state of mind. It is a way that what we feel at particular time and it may be positive or negative. Happiness, joy, cheerful, being humorous, being energetic. So these are all the examples we can give as a positive state of mood. And anger, frustration, guilty, gloomy, sad, irritated, feeling depressive. So these are all the examples of negative types of mood. Now we got that what is mood. And coming to this definition, persistent sadness of mood means, persistent means long duration or continuous. So here in this, depression means for a long duration or continuously patient feel this negative emotions like sadness of mood and negative thoughts, and it will lead decreased psychomotor activity means patients whichever activity are there it get decreased, and at last if it is untreated means because of negative thoughts and sadness of mood patient may end their life by committing suicide. Next we see classification of depression. Based on ICD-10 criteria, depression it is classified into many types. What are those means? Depressive episode, mild depressive episode, moderate depressive episode, severe depressive episode without psychotic symptom, severe depressive episode with psychotic symptoms, other depressive episode is also called as atypical depression. And next, depressive episode unspecified, last one, recurrent depressive disorder. So these are all the classifications of depression. Now we see one by one this classification in detail. First one, depressive episode. Here in this we can see most of the depressive features like sadness of mood, decreased psychomotor activity, negative thoughts and other symptoms like changes in appetite, suicidal thought. So these are all the symptoms we can see in this depressive episode, which will remain in patient for at least 2 weeks to 8 months. So this is about depressive episode. Next is mild depression. It is characterized by presence of one or more depressive symptoms and feelings of anger, hopelessness, guilty, despair, loss of interest in any activity, lack of motivation and socialization, insomnia, fatigue, aggressive behavior we can see in this mild depression. In this stage, suppose patient is untreated means it may lead moderate depression. Next is moderate depression. This moderate depression is similar to mild depressive episode. In this, along with signs and symptoms of mild depression, other symptoms like decreased self-esteem, impaired day-to-day activity, feeling of worthlessness, increased sensitivity, excessive worrying, we can see in this moderate depression. Next is severe depressive episode without psychotic symptom. In this what will happen means, in this all the type of depressive features we can see like sadness of mood, decreased psychomotor activity, decreased cognition, negative thoughts and suicidal tendencies and all we can see. Next is severe depression with psychotic symptoms. Here along with symptoms of severe depressive episode, psychotic features like delusion, hallucination, loss of insight. So these are all the psychotic symptoms we can see along with depressive symptoms. Next is other depressive episode or atypical depression. In this type of depression, certain specific symptoms we can see like increased appetite or weight gain. Commonly in depressive patient what will happen means because of sadness of mood, there will be decreased food intake we see. Because of that they lose weight. But in this type of depression, Whenever patient feel depressed, to overcome from that, what they will do means they will eat more and more. So because of that, what will happen means increased weight gain we can see in atypical depressive patient. In this atypical depression, along with these symptoms, other symptoms like sleeplessness or excessive sleep, fatigue, weakness or extreme sensitivity to rejection we can see. And this atypical depression, it is chronic in nature, means long duration we can see, and most commonly we can see this one in teenage period. Next is depressive episode unspecified. So this type of depression we can see at the beginning stage of depression. During this stage, we are not clear regarding symptoms of depression, and we can't specify that which type of depression it is, and when there is not enough information available to make diagnosis of depressive symptom, then it is called as unspecified depressive episode. Next is recurrent depressive disorder. So here depressive episodes we can see again and again episodically. After one recovery, again patient may develop this same depressive features. Next we see etiology. So in this we can come to know that causes of depression. So here exact cause for this depression, it is unknown. Means we can't tell exactly that because of particular reason only this depression it will come. So because of that, many psychiatrists and psychologists, they propose their own theory regarding depression. So here some of the important theories of etiology of depression are: first one, neurological theory; second one, genetic theory; next, endocrine theory; next, circadian rhythm theories; next, changes in brain anatomy; and last one, psychosocial theories. So in that psychosocial theories, again it is subdivided into three types. What are those means? Psychoanalytical theory, behavior theory and cognitive theory. So these are all the etiological factors of depression. Now we see each these etiological theories of depression in detail. In this first one, neurochemical theory. According to this theory, decreased norepinephrine and serotonin and dysregulation of acetylcholine and GABA, which is responsible for depression. So here this norepinephrine, serotonin, GABA and acetylcholine. So these are all the neurotransmitters which are responsible for our mood. Our mood, it is depend upon these neurotransmitters or biochemicals. If it is normal, our mood it is normal. If it is increasing, it increases happiness, our activity level. Same like that, suppose if it is decreasing means sadness of mood, decreased psychomotor activity and other depressive features we can see, and it may lead depression. Next is genetic theory. According to this theory, depression is commonly seen in first degree relatives and those who are identical twins. In them, any one twin diagnosed with this depression means other twin also having more than 70% chances of developing this depression. Next is endocrine theories. Our endocrine glands, commonly like hypothalamus, pituitary and adrenal glands, releases hormones like corticotropin, cortisol, dopamine, serotonin hormones, etc. So here hormones which is secreted by this gland which helps to maintain our mood and emotions. That's why if any malfunction in these glands create hormonal imbalance and which may cause excessive stress and later it may lead to depression. Next is circadian rhythm theories. So here circadian rhythm is our body's internal process that regulates our sleep-wake up cycle. So because of that only we sleep and wake up at proper time. When we won't get sleep at proper time means sleeping at late night for many days or not getting sleep for many days or else early morning awakening before normal wake up time. So these are all the conditions which imbalance our sleep wake up cycle, means circadian rhythm cycle. Because of that we develop many problems like decreased body function, means our day-to-day activity what it is there, it will get decreased. We won't get interest to do any activity. Next, hormonal imbalance, mood changes, irritability, nutritional deficiency. So these are all the problems we will get because of circadian rhythm imbalance. So this will lead increased risk of developing depression. Next is changes in brain anatomy. According to this theory, loss of neurons in frontal lobe or as basal ganglia of the brain or cerebellum. So these are all the part of the brain in which loss of neurons, if it will occur, means it may cause depression. Next we see psychosocial theories. In that first one is psychoanalytical theory. So this theory developed by Sigmund Freud. This theory states that due to loss of lovable object and fixation in the oral phase lead depression. So here thinking about loss of any object which will make us to feel sad, and this will lead to depression. And here fixation in the oral face lead depression means, so here Sigmund Freud divided our personality into 5 stages. So what are those means? Oral, anal, phallic, latent and genital stage. Here in this oral stage, individual depend on their caregivers, means parents. But when they grow up, but still they depend on their caregivers or someone, means this will develop stress, anxiety, sadness and negative thoughts, and later finally it will lead depression. Next is behavior theory. According to this theory, depression it is conditioned by experience of painful and repeated losses in past. Next, cognitive theory. According to this theory, depression it is due to negative cognitions, means negative thoughts, negative expectation from self or from future or environment, etc. This will lead depression. Next, sociological theories. This theory states that stressful life event like death of someone, loss of someone, job loss, financial loss, so etc. may cause depression. Next we see clinical features of depression. So these clinical features of depression it is characterized by following features. What are those means? Depressed mood, depressive cognitions, suicidal thoughts, impairment of psychomotor activity and somatic symptoms of depression, and last one, other features of depression. Now we'll see these features in detail. First one, depressed mood. Here sadness of mood or else loss of interest and loss of pleasure in any activity we can see in this depressed mood. Next is depressive cognition. So here cognition means our intellect or thinking process. In this depressive cognition, negative thoughts like hopelessness, helplessness, worthlessness, guilty feeling, blaming self for any mistake. These are all the conditions we can see in this depressive cognitions. Next, suicidal thought. So here gloomy thoughts means ideas of hopelessness, sadness of mood make patient to think about committing suicide or planning for suicide. Next is psychomotor activity. So here commonly in depressive patient, psychomotor retardation we can see, means patient's thinking process, all his day-to-day activities get slowed. In such patient, whenever you ask something to them, means they will take too much time to give answer. So it's because of retardation of their thoughts, means slowness of their thinking process. Next is somatic symptoms of depression. It's also called as melancholic features, means bodily symptoms we can see like decreased appetite and weight, early morning awakening, means patient they will wake up at least 2 to 3 hours before their actual waking cycle. Next, diurnal variation means mood swings or mood change we can see. Next, lack of interest in any activity, psychomotor retardation. So these are all the somatic symptoms of depression. Next we see other features of depression. What are all the other features means? Difficulties in thinking and concentration, poor memory, menstrual and sexual disturbance, fatigue, discomfort, anger, irritable. These are all the other features of depression. Next is diagnostic evaluation. In this, psychological tests like Beck depression scale, Hamilton rating scales are used to assess severity of depression. So in this what will happen means, in these scales some of the questionnaires will be there, for that patient needs to answer. Based on their answer, we can assess severity and prognosis of depression. Next one is dexamethasone suppression test. So this test is used to check cortisol level, so which is secreted by adrenal gland. So in this depressive patient what will happen means decreased level of cortisol we can see. Through that we can diagnose this depression. Next is ICD-10 criteria. So these are all the diagnostic evaluation for depression. Next is treatment. Treatment modalities for depression. So here treatment of depression, it is classified into 3 categories. What are those means? First one, pharmacotherapy. Second one, physical therapies. Next, third one, psychosocial therapies. Now we see one by one these therapies. First one, psychopharmacotherapy. Here, antidepressants are given to treat depression. So these antidepressants, what it will do means, it will increases the level of biochemicals or neurotransmitters like serotonin, norepinephrine, GABA, etc. And through that, it will improve our mood. Here antidepressants are divided into many like SSR, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, tricyclic antidepressants, monoamino oxidase inhibitor, and other antidepressants like bupropion, meproptyline, etc. So next one is physical therapies. Here main physical therapies are ECT, light therapy, repetitive transcranial magnetic stimulation. These are all the therapies they will give. So here ECT is given for severe depression with suicidal thoughts and psychotic symptoms. Next is light therapy. Light therapy is given for seasonal depression. When the patient is exposed to the bright, full spectrum of light, they will recover from this problem. Next is repetitive transcranial magnetic stimulation. Here in this type of treatment, magnetic fields are used to stimulate nerve cells, which is associated with mood control and depression. Next, third type of treatment modality are psychosocial treatment. Many type of psychosocial treatments are used to improve patients' behavior level and cognitive level and all. Some of the important psychosocial therapies are psychotherapy, cognitive therapy, supportive psychotherapy, group therapy, family therapy, behavior therapy. These are all the therapies which we can give for the treatment of depression.